Football on the Central Iowa Sports Network. CISN.TV is Iowa's premier source for live-streamed high school football. High school football on CISN.TV is brought to you by Atlantic Bottlers, Schottenkirk Chevrolet, Shields, the Better Business Bureau, G&L Clothing. Now let's go to our CISN.TV team for Johnston High School football.
Good evening and welcome to Johnston Stadium. Dar Danielson with you here, along with Joe Danielson, as the fans are flying in around us, Joe. And there must be some kind of big ball game here tonight, huh?
Yep, it's rivalry week here in Johnston as the second game of the season opens up against Urbandale.
And a couple of teams, Urbandale starting out 0-2, Johnston off to a red-hot 2-0 start tonight. But I talked with Coach Woodley last night of Johnston, and he said, you know, that doesn't matter. Whatever sport it is, it's a cliche, but they go after each other, Urbandale-Johnston, don't they?
Yep, it's a good rivalry. I think we're going to look for a scrappy game tonight. Urbandale's looking for their first win, and they want to get it against their rival, the crosstown rival, Johnston.
Going to see a couple big things here tonight. One is the quarterbacks. Got a couple of good quarterbacks here in Nord and Llewellyn.
Yep, and both have had, we've covered both of their games previously, and they both had good showings. They both have, Nord can really run with the ball, and Llewellyn can air it out. So the good play is going to come from both of them tonight.
Well, we've got our national anthem coming up, so let's take a break, and we'll be back with more after this.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game, Shields.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa. Why do I
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
We are back here live on CISN.TV. We're playing the Johnston fight song. Dar Danielson, Joe Danielson. The crowd standing up in front of us here as they get ready for a big game, Joe. They're playing out. Another big matchup will be Kennedy and Coleman, receiver against defensive back. That should be a top matchup tonight.
Yep, and Coleman's got 3 interceptions on the year, and Kennedy's a big wide receiver that Urbandale's going to look to early in offense, so that should be a good matchup.
Well, we're getting ready for the kickoff here. Johnston and Urbandale, as people are filing in, we're right in the midst of them here. And as they come on in, and we're back. Steve, can you see us all right? Up there? Okay. Let's see if we can grab some Johnston fans. Who's going to win tonight? Wow, that's a surprise. Hey, score how much? 27. What's the bigger rivalry? Johnston, Urbandale, Iowa State. Well, let's see. What's the bigger rivalry on Friday night? Johnston, Urbandale, Valley Dowling.
Valley Dowling.
Oh, wait a minute. You're a Johnston fan. Oh, you're a Val. Okay, all right. All right. Well, you see the fans are all here ready to go. Joe and I are going to head back up to the press box, so all these people can dial us up on their phones on CISN.TV and watch the game and listen as they're watching it here, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Let's take it back in.
Let's take a break. We'll come back up to the press box and be ready to start the kickoff of this matchup here coming up in about 5 minutes.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Many times at the Lodge of Ashworth, new members come to us from their big, beautiful homes. They find our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites to be an ideal fit. We have a limited number of these larger and penthouse-style suites, perfect for the retiring executive style living. We have suites ready for immediate move-in, or we can help you customize. The Lodge of Ashworth is all-inclusive, no surprise additional fees or upcharges. Call us today for a private tour and ask us about our flexible pricing plans.
At Mid-American Energy, part of putting power in your hands is helping to keep families safe. That's why Mid-American provides free educational safety programs to schools, asks you to call 811 before you dig, have annual furnace inspections, and be aware of hazards at home. Mid-American Energy safely delivers electricity and natural gas to us in good times and stormy ones. That's Mid-American Energy.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
Here live at Johnston Stadium, Dar Danielson along with Joe Danielson as we get set for Urbandale Johnston, the big rivalry game. But Joe, we found out, I think there's a lot of people looking to tomorrow's game, too, as they sat there and we talked to them, huh?
Yep, tomorrow, and also Valley versus Dowling is going on tonight, but I think this is the biggest game in Johnston tonight.
Yep, and there's also Ames travels over to, I think they play City High in the Little Cyclone, Little Hawkeye matchup, so a lot going on. But this game here tonight, Joe, is a chance for Urbandale to kind of keep the season, you know, get a win, get that first win, spoil Johnston's perfect season right here, and kind of get something going, isn't it?
Yep, and Urbandale is off to a slow start at 0-2. They're itching for a victory. They've played well in both the first two games here, whereas Johnston is still undefeated, looking at their number 4th ranking in the state, and they want to look to keep the perfect season alive.
Johnston comes in having beaten Ankeny Centennial 13-8 on a last-second touchdown pass in their opening game, and then 27-17 over Southeast Polk last week in a game you saw here on CISN.TV that was close right up to the end. Urbandale lost to Waukee 29-7 in the opener and 42-13 to Dowling in their game last week. And again, these first 4 games are non-district games. So even if you go 0-4, you still got a chance to come out, go into district play, and make it into the playoffs, Joe.
Yeah, but that's a tough scenario, though. No team wants to be 0-4 going into district play. But, yeah, like you said, even if Urbandale would lose here tonight, it's still not, the season is not over in any way.
Well, let's, I see, I guess looks like the captains are going to head out. And let's do this. Let's take a break. We'll come back with more after this.
Great price, great selection, great experience. That's what people expect today. What isn't expected is how hard we work after the sale to keep your business. Hard work, honesty, integrity, discipline, trust, character. These core values are why we grow every year and why we continue to acquire more dealerships. Experience the Schottenkirk way of doing business and come visit our new Ford dealership in Indianola. Great price.
Back here at Johnston High School, Dar Danielson and Joe Danielson as we get set for the, we fixed that. We think we fixed the audio. It was a little bit buzzing there. We apologize for that, but we worked on that cable, and I think we're set. So the captains are out here for Johnston and Urbandale. And I think, did you see what they signaled? Did you?
Your officials for the game are Dustin Gentman, Taylor Howard, John Gentman, Jim Wilson, and Scott.
Does it sound fine? How are we doing now, Steve? Okay. Said the sound is better. Good. And I missed that. And talking with our technical crew here, I think they said that.
Looks like Johnston's going to come out to receive here.
Johnston's going to receive.
Yep, and back deep.
And Urbandale will kick. Okay.
Yep.
So we'll get it straightened out here.
And, deep for Johnston is Anthony Coleman and Brock Studer.
Yep. And Johnston rated 4th coming into this. West Des Moines Dowling, number 1. Iowa City West, number 2. Valley, number 3. Johnston, number 4. And Keeney will kick it off for the Jayhawks. They're in the white uniforms, in the purple tops and the white bottoms here for Johnston as they're back to their more traditional uniforms after the new ones to open up the stadium last week. The kind of gold tops there. And we're about ready to get underway with football here. Here's the kick going back deep. Taken at the 1 by Studer. Studer up to the 15, 20, looks for room outside, 25. Tries to cut it back and is down at the 30-yard line. So a 29-yard return for Johnston. And it'll be 1st and 10 at the 30 for Johnston. So they want to go on offense right away. Joe, they send 3 receivers out wide right away. And going to try to test this Urbandale defense. That's single back. Studer in Nord takes it himself, follows him around the corner, and just picks up a couple.
Yep, and that direct snap to Nord there. We'll probably be seeing that quite a lot. It usually is a balanced attack with how much he passes and throws the ball.
And they're going to mark him. They say he stepped out, so he's going to lose one on the run. So 2nd and 11. At the 29. It looked like he got beyond the 30, but his foot must have stepped out. They marked him there. So 2nd and long. Inside handoff to Thompson, and he gets stopped after a short gain. So I'll give him 3. 3rd and 8. At the 32 for Johnston.
Yep, so coming out early, Urbandale, a couple nice plays up front by the D-line, excuse me.
Grant Garwood, Riley Longlet, Tavian Hughes, Ben Daumuller, the front 4 for the Urbandale defense. We'll run down the rest of the defense once we get a chance here. Rolling is Nord, looking, throws it downfield, and a nice catch by Jackson Steigers. Steigers pulls it down for the first down.
And you got a 25 yards on that passing play?
35, he said. First down and 10 at the 38 for Johnston.
Hand off to Studer. He plows into the middle, and it gets wrangled down there. And Riley Longlet on the tackle. So pick up a 3 for Studer. And there'll be 2nd and 7 at the 35 for Johnston. Studer steps up next to him in motion. Fakes it. Now looks. Pressure on. He gets it off outside to Edward Thompson, and he's going to be pulled down a short gain there. But Urbandale brought some pressure, and Nord was able to get away from it, Joe.
Yep, that play looked kind of disastrous for a second there, but Nord was able to get the pass off, and avoid the sack. Urbandale, again, coming up with some nice front four pressure on the defensive side so far.
So the rest of the Urbandale defense, Sam Estes, Demir Dojic, Samir Sihik, Brooke Heinen, Chris Miller, Hayden Fredrickson, and Dante Raymond on the defense. Here's Andrew Nord, the quarterback, rolling, trying to turn to throw, throws it upfield behind the defense and just over the outstretched arms of Thompson. Otherwise, he was clear of the defense there, and that would have been a touchdown.
Yep, the safety for Urbandale just slipped and fell and kind of lost track of Thompson there, but the pass was just a little bit over his head, which will bring up 4th down.
4th and 6 at the 34. What do you do here? You go for it, or that would be a 47-yard field goal.
Looks like Nord's going to stay out there.
It looks like they're far enough into the Urbandale territory that they'll probably go for it here. Jackson Steigers. He sat out last week after picking up a concussion in that first game, and he's back in the offense here. Here's Nord rolling left, looking. Now try to take it upfield. Now pitches it late, throws it late, and that's a flag down. I think there's going to be some kind of penalty on illegal forward. I don't think he was beyond a line of scrimmage, but I don't think anybody was out there. There was an offensive lineman, but he didn't really throw it at anybody.
Yep, and he was. It looks like the official is picking up his flag there. I think there actually was a running back in the area, but Nord was, being in the process of being brought down, in which he kind of panicked and let the ball go out of bounds.
So they go 9 plays, get it down, and they turn it over on downs at the Urbandale 34.
Yep, and a nice job on Urbandale's defensive pressure on that drive, really disrupting the run, and, they only let one passing play go.
So here comes the Urbandale offense. Luke Llewellyn, the quarterback, drops back, under pressure, looking downfield, throws it, and out of bounds.
Yep, and Urbandale was looking to go deep on that play right away with Kennedy and Gavin Sullivan running deep out routes.
So incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10 at the 34. And Alex Economos will go off. So it's Llewellyn there. Slot comes across, and he hands it off to the running back who is snowed under, Dalton Towns. Or no, that was Jake Ryan right in there.
Yep, Jake Ryan found the ball carrier. Henry Drake was wrapped up as soon as he got the ball in his hands.
And he loses 4. 3rd and 14 for Urbandale at the 30. Llewellyn dropping back, looking. He's under pressure. Slips the pressure, wings it out, and it's over the head of Henry Drake. It'll be 4th down here for Urbandale.
Yeah, and Drake had room to run there, it looked like. He had at least, he had a chance to make something happen on that play, but you just got to bring the ball in. So Urbandale 3 and outs on their first drive.
4th and 14 at the 30 for Urbandale.
It'll bring in Luke Dayton, the punter, number 17.
Looks like Ed Thompson will go back deep, and Coleman. Anthony Coleman and Ed Thompson back deep to receive on the punt. for Urbandale. Punt is angling toward the sideline, taken over the shoulder by Thompson, and then he gets upended and spun around. They took it at the 25 and got up to about the 31, I think. So.
Yep, and Nathan Newcomb there on the kick return coverage makes the tackle, and he'll stay out there to play linebacker for Urbandale, one of the defensive leaders on the team, with about 15 and a half tackles and 2 sacks on the year. Or that's Johnston. That'll be Johnston's D.
So a 3 and out for Urbandale, about a 45-yard punt, and 1st and 10 at the 36 with 8:36 to play in the first quarter. No score here as the Dragons come out for their second offensive possession. Nord hands it off, and the back Studer met right behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the run. So it'll be second. Well, they're going to give him forward progress call, no gain, I guess. And here comes Nord again. Slot to his right. 2 receivers up high. One of them on the inside there is Coleman. Down the line comes Nord. Pitch back. And Studer can't quite turn the corner, so good. Aggressive pursuit, Joe, by the Jayhawks.
Yep, so far Urbandale's really been able to shut down the corner, which funnels Johnston's running backs right into the inside, or their linebackers have been able to make the tackle.
So he'll pick up 2. Or no, let's say 1. 3rd and 9. The 37. Studer brings him out. Third and long here. First quarter, no score. Slot back in motion across this Thompson. Rolling, looking. Now he'll tuck it up, and he's not going to get about half of what he needed. Taken out Nord at the 39. Or 41, excuse me. So he picked up 4. 4th and 5 at the 41. So Steiger's into punt for the Dragons. Their first punt. He rolls to his right and gets a good boot off, taken in the air and tripped up back there.
Edward Thompson.
Chris Miller.
Number 6.
Yep. And Nielsen dropped him for no gain. So goes down from the 41 to the 27. So 32-yard punt. And it's 1st and 10 for Urbandale at the 27. And trying to find some room is Drake, Henry Drake, and he'll pick up a couple.
Ross Hidler's also there in the Dragon defense. Gain of 2.
Second and 8 at the 29 for Urbandale. Handoff. No, he keeps it and options it out, and now cuts it up and gets a couple yards there.
No, it's Chris Miller out of the backfield.
Yep.
On the pitch out.
So Miller
Ross Hinders on the tackle.
picks up, we'll call it 3. 3rd and 5 from the 32 for Urbandale. On the 3rd play of the drive. Llewellyn rolling right, under pressure, heavy pressure, trying to get away, still trying to go away, and then throws it just to kind of avoid the sack.
Yep, he did a good job. All he could to stay alive there, just backpedaling, and eventually was able to get rid of it. Good thing he didn't take a sack there because, so far this has been a defensive battle of field position.
Nathan Newcomb, the man who got in and got pressure on him. So it's incomplete, and it'll be 4th down, another 3 and out here for Urbandale.
4th and 5 at the 32.
Coleman and Thompson are deep for the Dragons.
And Coleman and Thompson
In punt formation for Urbandale.
back deep. Luke Dayton to punt it for the Jayhawks. Good high spiral. Taken up at the 34. Gets through the defense, stumbles ahead to about the 50.
Yeah, boy, I'm not sure how Coleman made it out of there. Broke 3 tacklers and.
So a 16-yard pickup on the punt return for Coleman. First and 10 at the 50 for Johnston.
Now, Johnston, compared to Urbandale on offense, has been a little bit slower setting up. Urbandale has looked to come out and go real fast, which is kind of, that's 2 3 and outs has been 2 quick possessions.
So you see Johnston in the purple, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Receiver right comes in motion, fakes it Nord, and he's looking for room in the middle. Backtracks, now turns the ground across the 45-40. Can he get to the outside and then stumbles over? Had a blocker leading him through there. Nord gets a big pickup. Gavin Sullivan led him up the field. 16 yards, and it'll be a first down. First and 10 at the 35.
First and 10 at the Jayhawk 35.
So another first down here for Johnston. Quick out pass. And taken by the big tight end Peyton Williams, a 6'5", 225 junior. And you like that 9-yard play on first down, don't you, Joe?
Yep, that opens up the playbook here for 2nd and 1.
And here Johnston picking up the pace now. And Nord turns the corner inside the 20 and knocked out of bounds for another first down.
Nord on the keeper. Run out of bounds at the 22.
And he'll be knocked out at the 19. It'll be first down.
First and 10, Dragons.
First and 10 at the 19. So in the red zone now, Johnston. And Urbandale jumps over and touches a defensive lineman. They're pointing at Johnston. We'll see. This could be the first penalty. We had flags thrown earlier, but they waved that off. So they're going to call that an Urbandale jumping.
Offsides again, so that'll set up a favorable 1st and 5 in the red zone for Johnston. Threatening here, about 5 minutes left in the first quarter.
Off the penalty. Nord. Studer comes up. Ask him what the call is or what the count is, I think maybe. Here comes a slot back across the formation. Nord just follows Studer right through, and he'll get a few yards before he's pulled down at the line. I guess he didn't get anything. Pulled down at the line of scrimmage. I was looking at the other stake over there. Forgot about the penalty. So 2nd and 5 at the 14. And Nord just kind of probing, trying to keep him honest. And then here's where he might look for that big tight end again, Joe.
Yep, he's got a lot of good patience and waits for the hole to create on the outside. He's looking to get outside with the ball, not up the middle.
Fakes it, rolling, looking, throws it, and it's a wobbler. Caught at the, and he dives for touchdown. He kept it alive. Thompson spun around, kept that alive, and got in.
Wow, great effort on the play by Thompson to go up and catch what was really a jump ball. Brings it in and is able to shake a couple tacklers and dive to break the plane.
And he had that about, what was it, about the 2 or 3, and he just kept spinning there and moving. And here's that swinging gate again. And they'll move it over. And Hushagen will come in to kick the PAT. It's up and good. And Johnston goes up 7-0 here
over Urbandale with 4:22 to play in the first quarter. We'll take a break and come back with the kickoff after this.
To everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Dar Danielson, Joe Danielson, you see the scoreboard there, 7-0. Johnston takes the lead, and Joe, just a great individual effort by Edward Thompson, the 5'9" junior, to get that into the end zone.
Yep, he went up with went and got that ball, which is what you want your receivers to do, especially when it's dangerous like that. Looks like the kick is going to sail out the back of the end zone from the Dragons, and Urbandale will get the ball at the 20-yard line.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays I have, and about, let's see, 18, about a minute 18 on the drive for Johnston as they open it up here. And now Luke Llewellyn will bring out his offense, trailing for the first time. Henry Drake is with him, slots to each side. Drops straight back, looks for the quick out there. Hits his man for a good gain. Will Pattison. So, pickup of 7. 2nd and 3. Handoff up the middle, finding room, and Drake gets it across the 20 for the first down.
Yep, and that's a good sign for Urbandale here as they convert the first down of the game with their 2 first drives ending in a 3-and-out.
1st and 10 at the 31 for Urbandale. And fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. Llewellyn runs up there.
Yep, and that's
inside.
not something we really see that much from Llewellyn, keeping the ball on the even or them running the option with his arm. He doesn't carry it often.
He picks up 5, 2nd and 5 at the 36. So kind of mixing it up, and they picked up the tempo a little bit here on offense, haven't they?
Yep, and they've been looking to do that.
Drake looking to go deep. Plus Brennan. Kennedy wide open. Catches it 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown! Urbandale. 64 yards off the flea flicker.
Well, there you go. And they lulled him to sleep with Drake coming in motion. And Drake with the beautiful pass to stop and put it perfectly in the hands of Brandon Kennedy.
Well, the worry there is you throw it too far, all you had to do is lay it out for him, didn't he?
Yep, and Drake is not real big of a guy there, so he had a man pursuing him, and he gave it all he had, and a perfect throw to Kennedy for the touchdown, Urbandale.
With 3:09 to play here, Urbandale on the verge of tying this up, so.
Yep, and their offense suddenly wakes up out of slumber there after the 2 3-and-outs in the first drive. They reach into the playbook and bring out the flea flicker, and it works to success.
Well, they took advantage of a defense that had just been shutting them down, and they made him bite on that, and Kennedy was back there, nobody within 10 yards of him when he caught that ball at the 30 in stride.
Ethan Keeney on for Urbandale, the point after attempt.
He's 2 of 2 on the season. This one is up. And good. We got a tie ball game. So with 3:09 left in the ball game, well, Johnston scored with 4:22 to go in the quarter, then 3:09 to go. It's Urbandale, so within a minute of each other, they score here, and we got offense going all of a sudden. Let's take a quick break and be back with more after this.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing. Your size, your style, we've got it all.
And here we go. Urbandale just scored 2 plays. They go with the flea flicker, pitch it to Drake. Drake throws it downfield to a wide open Kennedy, 64 yards, and they tie it up. And here's the kickoff. That's going to go into the end zone for a touchback. So now Johnston will take it over, 1st and 10 on the 20. And wow, momentum switched quickly there, didn't it, Joe?
Yeah, but Urbandale, after 2 3 and outs, just, they woke up to tie the game at 7 with that, trick play. Although Johnston had been getting so much penetration on defense that they kind of set themselves up for that. A little bit of overcommitment from the linebackers let Urbandale's Kennedy run wide open to the end zone.
Yeah, you talked about, I guess they had, 1, 2, 3 plays they ran. They got the first down and then pitched it and went. So here comes Nord back out. And I'm going to tell you an interesting story about these quarterbacks here in just a second. Snap to Nord, hands off to Studer, spins through the hole and gets some good yardage on first down. Brock Studer on the run. 1st and 10 at the 20. They move it up to the 25, where it'll be 2nd and 5. Llewellyn's dad works at Webster Elementary. Nord's mom works at Webster Elementary in Urbandale. So both the 2 parents of the quarterbacks work there, and I imagine there's a little rivalry going on this week as they get ready for this game. They wing it outside to Williams, the tight end, right at the first down marker, and he should have a first down there.
Williams, Peyton Williams, the 6'5 junior, is a big body to have at tight end, and you really looked to him a couple times early in this game, and he's got a good weapon going forward.
So pick up a 5, and it's 1st and 10 at the 30 for Johnston. 2:15 and counting here to play in the first half. We're tied 7-7 on CISN.TV. Beautiful night for football here in Johnston. Second game of this new stadium, and there's a jump. And we'll see if Johnston drew him offside or if Tavian Hughes jumped in there, but he was drawn offside by the lineman. And I should tell you, I haven't really, Grant Molander, Ethan Arnold, Micah Crott, Jake Thompson, and Ben Standish. The line there in front of Nord. Studer, the running back, Coleman, Gavin Sullivan, Edward Thompson, and Peyton Williams. Receivers, Williams is the tight end. Well, that's what they start out with, but they play several guys. This time 2 receivers to the left, 1 right, in motion. And up the middle. Going to get it. Nord keeps it. He'll get about 4. So he'll pick up 4. 2nd 11 for Johnston at their own 29. Let's see how they respond now after taking the lead and then giving it right back up. Fakes inside, look deep, has Williams behind the defense, but he didn't have time to find him. Now Nord is scrambling, now lobs it out there, and boom! The hit's put on Edward Thompson. Wow.
Yeah, great play by Nord to just scramble around and keep the play alive. He's real quick in the backfield there. And he's done that a couple times to find Edward Thompson, who just works to get open. He did a good job there.
Sahick and Dante Raymond, the safety, came up and pounded him. So 3rd and 4 at the 36, and now a jump again. Yeah. False start again, so that's the second one on this drive. For Johnston. So you go from a 3rd and 4 to a 3rd and 9 off the penalty. Second penalty here on Johnston. And clock running down. We'll see if they get a playoff before the end of the quarter. 3rd and 9 for Johnston. Studer steps up next to Nord. Nord rolling right. Looking. Throws it. And toward the marker, it's incomplete, though.
Yep. Thompson couldn't hold on to it that time, and then there's Thompson again. Just when Nord scrambles out there, he's always working to get open, but he just couldn't bring it in that time.
Well, 3 seconds to play here in the first quarter, and the momentum has changed to the Urbandale side a little bit here, Joe.
Yep, after the slow start on offense, Urbandale's defense has really kept them in the game here, getting great penetration against Johnston's O-line, and they've been able to shut down the run so far.
Miller deep for Urbandale. And the punt goes by him. Man, he should have tried to field that, don't you think? Because now it gets a big roll. It bounded about the 30 and rolls all the way down to where are they going to put that, the 15?
Yep, a good 10 to 15 extra yards. If you catch that and just even down it, you end up with a little better field position for Urbandale.
So 46, that's about a 56-yard punt. So that's the end of the first quarter. We're tied 7-7 here. We're in a wild one to open it up at Urbandale against Johnston. We'll take a break and be back with more on CISN.TV.
It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
At Mid-American Energy, part of putting power in your hands is helping to keep families safe. That's why Mid-American provides free educational safety programs to schools, asks you to call 811 before you dig, have annual furnace inspections, and be aware of hazards at home. Mid-American Energy safely delivers electricity and natural gas to us in good times and stormy ones. That's Mid-American Energy.
We're back. Start the second quarter. 1st and 10, Urbandale at their own 14 after the punt, and it's knocked down by Johnston. Nathan Newcomb,
yep.
Wasn't it?
Nathan Newcomb, yep.
Yep.
He's one of
Sam
the leaders.
linebacker there. He got his hands up and knocked that pass down. And it'll be 2nd and 10 at the 14. And talking about it, Joe, Miller lets that punt go, and they got another 15 yards on the roll on that one.
Yep, and that'll put you back deeper than you want to be.
Fakes, Llewellyn keeps it himself. Plows ahead. He's going to get maybe a yard.
Yep, and Llewellyn just didn't even have time to pitch that play, which is kind of wise of him to just keep it there. You don't want to risk a fumble so close to your end zone. And here we go again, Urbandale with the quick offense. Llewellyn's ready to take the snap again.
Gets his receivers all set up. And drops back, rolls to his right. Looking downfield, he's got man behind the defense, hits some crossing pattern there, short. Looked like he had a guy a little bit deeper there, but he hits J.D. Colby out of the slot. And it's going to be 4th and about 2, I believe.
Yep, and kind of a negative to snapping the ball so fast is if you're having a 3 and out, that's not tiring out the opposing team's defense, and that doesn't give your defense time to rest.
That's one thing about that run and gun offense.
Yep, and Urbandale here again is 3 out of 4 drives now have been 3 plays, no first down, assuming they punt here.
Coleman and Thompson will go back deep to receive. And Urbandale looked like they had a little issue with their punt team. They're going to take a timeout. So we'll take a break here and be back with more after this.
I opened the Hearing Clinic to offer patients and their families a positive healthcare experience. If you have trouble hearing clearly at church, at the movies, watching TV, or with your friends and family in a group conversation, what are you waiting for? In less than half an hour, we can give you peace of mind and answer any questions that you may have. Call us today to schedule your appointment. The Hearing Clinic, 515-440-3323. We listen, you hear.
We're back now. Urbandale had to take a timeout. 7-7 here. Johnston and Urbandale. And Johnston's forced a punt by the Jayhawks. We got Coleman and Thompson back deep to receive the kick from Luke Dayton. High snap. He handles it under pressure, and he gets run into. And that's a big mistake. Taken back at the 30 there by Thompson, and he'll get up across to about the 39, but that's going to be a first down by penalty, I would say, because it's only 2 yards.
Yep, I would say also, too, roughing the kicker. Yep, and he was going for the ball, but in going for the ball, he launched his body at the kicker, and you just can't do that. You got to play unless you get a hold of the ball.
Yeah, you got to tip it, and it doesn't matter, and you got to.
So there you again. Yep.
So penalties hurting Jayhawks, hurting the Dragons here.
Yep, and this gives Urbandale another chance to come out here and get something going on offense.
So the roughing penalty moves it up to the 37, gives them a first down, and keeps the ball in their hands. 10:28 to go, first half. And handoff up the middle. Drake finding some room, ducking and dodging all the way up to about the 44.
Yep, nice draw play to Drake up the middle, and Urbandale there. Something they've struggled with is getting good protection on the O-line, and that time it was good protection, great timing for Llewellyn to hand off to Drake, and he was able to get 7 yards up the middle on that play.
2nd and 3 at the 44. It's Waukee over Ankeny, 15-0 at the end of the first quarter, and there's flags flying in everywhere as Drake was looking for room to go, and there's going to be some holding going on there. Yep. So
penalties now sending Urbandale backwards on this drive after the holding.
So the second penalty on Urbandale, and here a costly one, although he wasn't going to pick up much, but it would have been a 3rd and 4 as opposed to now 3rd and long, or 4th and long. So 2nd and 13 at the 34. Llewellyn trips to the right, rolls to his right, tries to throw it and bat it away.
Nathan Newcomb again with another pass deflection, and if he didn't deflect that, I'm sure he was going to looking for the sack on that play.
And for a linebacker, Joe, he's 6'4", so when he comes in there and puts those paws up, he's got a lot of reach that you got to get over there.
Yep, that's the long length at the linebacker position.
And he really knocked it down. So 3rd and 13 now for Urbandale at the 34. Dropping back, Llewellyn, straight back, looking, wings it out the right side, has a man up to 50, and it's caught for the first down.
Samir Sage, the linebacker coming in and catching a pass on offense.
I think that's the first time I've seen him play on offense.
Yep, and Sage he's a playmaker on defense, and you think just put him in, and there you go, he makes a play.
So 1st and 10 at the 50. A 16-yard pickup on the pass. And up the middle. Urbandale, Drake. And, Joe, this is right what Urbandale wants. Control the clock, keep the ball out of the hands of Johnston's offense, and just run the clock down and, 2nd and 8 here.
Yep, they want to grind it out, and that's what they've been able to do so far.
Llewellyn under pressure, looking, now throws it late and throws it way out of bounds. He had a receiver over there, but he threw it into his own bench because he was under pressure again. And Johnston getting good pressure, but unable to get to him here. I don't think we've had a sack yet, have we?
Nope, none so far.
And Bacon in there, he's another big guy in on the pressure. Tyler Bacon for Johnston, number 80, 6'2". Llewellyn looks, he's got a man caught at the 45. And that's Kennedy, his first catch of the day, I think, isn't it?
Yep, that'll be Kennedy's first grab. He had a couple guys going over the top, but took the check down.
Yeah, it looked like they might have been open deep, didn't it? And they're going to come up to the line quickly here on 4th and 5. Llewellyn looking over. Now he's calling the play. Twin receivers to each side. Big play for Urbandale. Can they keep the drive alive? And there's the flag. The clock didn't run down, but there might have been some motion there. Yep. So penalties now hurting both these teams here.
Yep, a false start on 4th down will make it 4th and 10 instead of 4th and 5, which will bring out the punting unit here for Urbandale again.
So they had a legitimate shot. They think they're going to kind of go for that, but now they got to punt it away, and that's probably the smart move. Try to pin them back deep. And again, Coleman and Thompson back deep to receive on the punt.
Yep, Urbandale's defense has played well so far. One interesting stat is they have forced 3 fumbles on the season, and they do not have an interception yet.
Dayton with that kind of rollover rugby-style punt, and he kicks it toward the sideline. Got a good bounce, though. Beautiful bounce, and it rolls down to about the 6-yard line.
Yep, he did a great job working with that full far side of the field to just kick the ball up and got a nice lucky bounce end over end down to the 6-yard line there. So
that's a 44-yard punt from the 50 down to the 6.
Yep, and that'll set up their Urbandale's defense, which has been playing pretty strong so far. You know, to pin Johnston back here.
And this is the worst field position, I think, for Johnston. The Dragons starting out. 7:31 to play first half. They'll be 1st and 10 at the 6 for Andrew Nord and company as he brings them out. Studer with him, and Studer will line up with his feet on the goal line. Now steps up ahead a little bit of it. Send the slot in motion. Hand off to Studer, left side. Man, he punishes right through into the tackler over there and gets a big pickup. On first down, a run by
Hayden
Studer.
Fredrickson, he took a big hit, but he held on, and he brought Brock Studer down there, and you got to a little respect after that hit from Fredrickson to Studer. Those guys have been going at each other today.
6 yards, though, on the first down run, 2nd and 4. Nord hands it off again to Studer. He plows up close to the first down. Going to be a little short.
Yep, and you got to like how Studer runs with his pad level low at 5'11", 200 pounds. He's
looking to finish and punish the defender, too.
Yep, he's looking to initiate the contact and run over the defender.
So he'll pick up 2, so it'll be 3rd and 2 at the 14 here.
Yep, and this is a big stand for Urbandale's defense. 3rd and 2, they have the chance to hold Johnston down in their own territory.
And get the ball back in pretty good field position. And Nord will keep it himself. Cuts up the middle. Breaks free. 30, 40, 50. He's going to go if he can be caught. Nope. 30, 10, 5. He looks back. Touchdown.
Yep, once Nord broke into
86 yards.
Yeah, he broke into the 2nd level, and nobody was going to touch him on that play by Urbandale. Urbandale's safety was drawn over to the left side of the field, which gave Nord the foot race to the end zone, and he just made it happen on that one.
And that's the trouble. You stack up there to try to stop the 3rd and short, and he busts through, and there was nobody back there.
Yep, so another big scoring play here so far in this game will make it 13-7 Johnston.
The extra point coming here for the Dragons. Meyer the hold. Here's the kick by Hushagen. It's up and good. And the Dragons are back up here in this Urbandale-Johnston rivalry. The 86-yard touchdown run by Andrew Nord, the quarterback, puts the Dragons back on top. Let's take a break. We'll come back with the kickoff after this on CISN.TV.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Back at Johnston High School, the Dragons have just taken the lead, Joe, and their big play quarterback broke it free and took it the distance.
Yep, and he can do it in the air, but or on the ground, and that time he did it by with an 86-yard touchdown run, untouched to the end zone on the keeper.
And here's the kickoff. That's going to go into the end zone, so Urbandale will take over.
Kickoff into the end zone will be brought out to the 20.
And that'll come out to the 20, 1st and 10 for Urbandale. With 6:15 to play in the first half. So 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3. I think 4 plays it was on that touchdown drive. They took it over with 7:31 to play and then scored with 6:15 to play. And it's back to Urbandale to see if they can answer. Handoff. Drake spins through the hole. Has some room. Almost broke it through there, and he's up close to a first down. I think he may have it.
Yep.
He was just arm reach out grabbing his jersey from busting that through, Joe.
Yep, nice moves by Drake in the backfield to make something out of almost nothing there. And he's been looking to break one here. He's getting those runs up the middle. It's just been arm tackles that have brought him down.
Llewellyn throws it deep for Kennedy, and it's too far. And there's a late push down there, but I think they're going to say that was way over his head, and that didn't have a chance at catching that one. But kind of the first time he's looked for his big man on that go route.
Yep, and that's a one-on-one out on the outside there with Kennedy is what you're going to look for. You'd think that they're going to go to it again here.
Well, Nord has rushed for 203 yards on the season. No TDs until now. That was his first touchdown on that run, and incomplete pass makes it 2nd and 10. And there's a handoff to draw to Drake. He's got some room, cuts it back outside, still going. And he'll pick up about 4. And that'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Jayhawks. So Llewellyn comes over, talking to his receivers. He'll shift Miller, Chris Miller, back to the right side. Now Miller comes in motion. He hands it up the middle. And they didn't get any of that action that they get from that slot coming over. They didn't fool the Johnston defense at all in there.
Yep, and Henry Drake running up the middle he's done all right, finding that getting into the second level, but he hasn't been able to break one so far.
Dalton Towns read that. Dalton Towns, Jake Reiner, Aaron Potter, and Tyler Bacon on the defensive line in there, and they've been making the yards tough to come by. Coleman and Thompson will drop back deep again for the punt from Urbandale. Luke Dayton. And they're, again, got to wait to get somebody on there, and the clock is down to 5 seconds. They're going to have to snap it quick to get it off without taking the penalty, and they don't get it. Or do they take a timeout? Nope, they had to take a timeout.
Yep.
And that is not going to make the coach happy. We'll take a quick break, come back with more after this.
Great selection, great experience. That's what people expect today. What isn't expected is how hard we work after the sale to keep your business. Hard work, honesty, integrity, discipline, trust, character. These core values are why we grow every year and why we continue to acquire more dealerships. Experience the Schottenkirk way of doing business and come visit our new Ford dealership in Indianola. Great price.
Here at Johnston High School, Urbandale had the play clock run out as they got ready to punt. They didn't have enough guys on there and ran one on late, and they had to call a timeout. So they're going to punt it back to Johnston after getting one first down, and then
Now they're going to fake. Rolling, looking, throws, and short. Whoa, they rolled the dice there, and they had a man open out there, but big gamble, Joe, and you put your defense in a tough spot.
Yeah, big decision there in the timeout. You got to think if they were going to come out and do that originally with the clock running down, or they decided to do that during the timeout. But you don't really want to take the penalty there and move back.
Maybe they were going to do it and they didn't have the right guy in, and then they took the timeout, came out and did it, or I don't know. But either way, it goes back to Johnston, and it puts the Urbandale defense in a bad spot. 1st and 10 at the 34 for Johnston. And you don't want to give up another score here right before the half and go down 2 scores. Here's Nord. Dropping back, looking outside, going on the go route outside. Coleman picked off! No, dropped it. Almost pulled it away there. Brooke Heinen.
You got to hold on to that if you're Heinen for Urbandale. That ball was underthrown, and you could tell from the beginning, and Heinen was ready for it. And at that point, the wide receiver becomes a defensive player. And good job by Johnston to knock the ball out of Heinen's hands there.
Yeah, that would have been a big play if he catches that. A big turnaround here, but 2nd down and 10. Nord again. Coleman comes in motion. Coleman on the option. Turns around and knocked out of bounds. And that was Heinen again to come up on defense.
I think that was Fredrickson got in there. Great pursuit and nice shoestring tackle.
Sure that was Fredrickson? Was it? Okay. So 3rd and 9. We'll see. This could pay off for Urbandale if they can stop them here. Sullivan in motion, and Nord takes it up the middle, gets away from a tackle, now turns the corner. He's got some room, cuts it back inside, 10-5, touchdown! Nord winds his way through traffic and goes 32 yards.
Yeah, great vision from Nord on the ground there for his 2nd touchdown of the game, and he just didn't stop moving, followed his blockers all the way to the end zone.
And credit his blockers. They didn't stop looking for people to get in the way of, did they?
Yep, they knew he could what he can do on the ground, and he'll keep it moving if you give him a path.
So just about 3 minutes after he scored on an 86-yard run, he scores on a 32-yard run. Nord does. And it's now a 20-7 lead pending the kick here for Johnston. And there's the boot, and it's up and good. Makes it 21-7 Hushagen. With 3:14 to play in the half, 21-7 Johnston. Will be back with a kickoff after this.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
Here at Johnston and Dar Danielson, Joe Danielson. Joe, a big swing there as Urbandale goes for the fake on 4th down. Don't get it close to holding them, but then Nord does it with his feet.
Yep, and they haven't been able to contain Nord on the ground so far today, rushing for 2 touchdowns. He's well over 100 yards in just 2 plays so far.
Yeah, you had 86 on the first one, 32 on the second one. And the kick goes through the end zone for a touchback, and so it'll be the Jayhawks taking over on the 20. So here's where Urbandale, with 3:14 to go, they need to get that offense going, and it'd be nice to come down for them to get a score at least and cut it down here before the half.
Yep, ideally you'd like to get a nice long drive here and take it in and score at the break to go down 1 touchdown. This game is not, they're not out of it by any means, only down 2.
Luke Llewellyn, the quarterback. 2 scores, you mean?
Yep.
Piles right into the middle of the pile there. Jake Ryan came out of there with the ball, but it's staying with Urbandale as he gets no gain. 2nd and 10 at the 20. And Urbandale will keep it. And they go twins to each side. Slot in motion is Miller. Dropping back. They wing it outside. Looks like he's got some room. He can turn the corner, and Drake just couldn't quite get beyond the defender out there. Trey Officer ran him down. Johnston takes a timeout here. So the pass picks up 4.
So, yep, Johnston will take a timeout and maybe save some clock here, looking to get the ball back. And
yeah, smart play out of them, and they get it back. And if they've
been scoring so quick.
Yeah, they hold them here. They'll have plenty of time to go, and then one more score might put this game out of reach at halftime here. So Urbandale has got to figure it out. They had on their last drive, they went for it on 4th down around the 35 and or 34 and didn't make it, and they gave the ball to Johnston. Johnston on a couple plays, then Nord ran it in for the touchdown, 32 yards. So here we go, a big 3rd down and 6 for Urbandale at the 24, their own 24. Llewellyn looks to the sideline. Play clock down to 5. Dropping back, looking. Now rolling, throws across the middle, and he didn't catch it, but Kennedy wasn't going to have enough for the first down anyway, even if he caught that. And the incomplete pass stops the clock.
Yep, so they'll give Johnston a 2-minute drill here after they received the punt, depending on the spot of the punt. They're going to look out to be pretty aggressive.
Yeah, and for Nord, 2 minutes isn't, I mean, he doesn't need 2 minutes to run up the field. Those last 2 touchdown runs. Coleman and Thompson back deep to receive the punt from Luke Dayton. Dowling 28, Valley 6. And the punt falls and rolls over the 50 into Johnston territory.
Yep, so that'll give them about a nice 2 minutes to go 50 yards for the Dragons. And you got to think, how long could this 2 minutes last if they get another quick score like they have been? With Urbandale's trend of, quick passing plays is their offense, and when they're not connecting, that the clock doesn't run.
So 2:18 to play. Johnston leading here off of 2 Andrew Nord touchdown runs. And Nord comes back out onto the field with Studer. 2 receivers you see at the bottom of your, or 3 at the bottom of your screen and 1 at the top of your screen. He hands it to Studer. Studer cuts up the middle, spins, and is across for the first down.
Yep, and there you see Studer really breaking into the second level. He's been getting 4 and 5 yard gains and kind of taking a big hit, and that time he was able to break through.
Nord rolling right, has a man out there, and hits Steigers, and he's close to the first down.
Yep, one thing you see with both Nord and Llewellyn is they're both good on the rollout. And once you get him into the open field, Nord is more of a runner, but he uses his legs to keep himself alive when he's passing the ball and looking for wide receivers to break open.
And you said it earlier, Joe, these quick offensive sets for Urbandale, that defense has got to be pretty tired out there right now too. 2:03 to play, first half. Johnston in the purple there with the ball. And handoff to Coleman. He comes across and he gets knocked out of bounds. And didn't pick up anything, I don't think, on 2nd and 1.
So a stop here is big for Urbandale. You don't want to go in trailing 3 scores at the half, a 2-touchdown game is nothing to be worried about with the whole half to play.
That was Thompson, not Coleman, on the run there out of the slot. So 3rd down and 1:58 to play first half. So you can either Nord take it himself or hand it off to the big guy Studer, who's behind him there. And he's going to do that. Studer cuts right. Back into the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Brock Studer from 29 yards out. Well, just exactly what the Urbandale defense did not want to see.
Yeah, but you can kind of see it on that one. Getting tired, and Brock Studer's a big back, and you keep running him, and eventually he's going to wear him down. And there you go. He broke out for a touchdown run.
He had good vision there to cut it in, and then got it out to the outside and was by everybody. And we're waiting the extra point here by Huschhagen. And hitters will snap it. There's the kick. And it's Huschhagen hits it again, and it's quickly 28-7. Here, 3 straight runs by the Dragons to lead the Jayhawks now 28-7. We'll take a break and come back with more right after this on CISN.TV.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza. The other guy.
Well, 3 straight runs by Johnston here in the span of about, well, what do you got, about four or 5 minutes here, and a Nord 86-yard touchdown run, a Nord 32-yard touchdown run, and a Brock Studer 29-yard touchdown run, and it's 28-7, and this kick is going to go out of bounds for a penalty, so the worst play that's happened for Johnston here in the second quarter, Joe.
Yep, everything has gone right for him so far. And the end of the first, where we were tied at 7, I believe, right? Yep, so 21 unanswered here in the second for Johnston against Urbandale.
And that's the 4th penalty on Johnston. Urbandale has 3 penalties. And Llewellyn will bring out the Jayhawks now, trailing by 3 scores. Drake goes in motion. They swing it out to him. He's dances a little bit and then goes up ahead, and now he runs around the other way. He came out of there. I thought he was going to be tackled, and then he ends up losing yards on the deal.
Yeah, he looked like he was
Looked like he was stopped on the far side at no gain, and then he drops back and loses 5. And they try to wing it out there and knock down again.
Yep, and that's the 3rd pass deflection from Nathan Newcomb.
Yeah. Newcomb's been a beast on the outside and causing all kinds of trouble for Llewellyn. As you said, 3 pass knockdowns. And brings up a 3rd and 15 here again, Joe. They're in danger of giving the ball back with a lot of time left on the clock with 1:14 here.
Yep, that's what we've been talking about with quick incompletions. It really doesn't take any time off the clock.
3rd and 15 at the 30. Llewellyn drops back. Looks like a screen pass. They got a man over there, Drake. He cuts through. Almost broke through the line of defense, but is knocked out at the 50.
And there you have it again, as Urbandale drawing in the aggressive Johnston blitz. Johnston now leading by 3 scores has really just dialed it in and blitzing, and you got to look for that quick screen pass to break it open for Urbandale.
When they can afford to, just pin their ears back. Minute to play here, first half. Urbandale, Llewellyn back.
Looking, throws it down the far sideline, looking for Kennedy. A jump ball, intercepted. Is that Nielsen? He's going to be flagged for celebration, I think. Yep. Sam Nielsen intercepted it. And then he got a little too boisterous with the celebration and drew the flag. So, unsportsmanlike, since they're at the 15, they'll move it back to the 7.
So that'll make it harder for Nord to run it in again here. He had an 86-yard.
If he runs it in from here, we got a 93-yard touchdown, and he's going to get looked at for Play of the Week honors across the state. But it looks like they're going to go tight formation here, and maybe they'll just take a knee. We'll see. They run out the clock, and he does. Here with 51 seconds to go.
Nord on the kneel down on first down.
And I just say, talking with Coach Woodley, I mean, it's a rivalry, but there's a lot of respect. And he said, Urbandale comes to play. This is not going to be an easy game. We got to be ready for him. And the 3 big plays here will put Johnston up at the half. As the clock winding down, they'll have to snap it probably one more time here to roll the halftime clock off. And Sam Anderson will have a lot, him and his coaching staff, to talk about at halftime as the clock will wind down here. And the Jayhawks will go to the locker room on the road, trailing to the Dragons 28-7 here in the first half. Let's take a break. We'll do that. We'll come back and we'll run down the first half scoring for you coming up right after this on CISN.TV.
To everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us. Or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing. 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing. Your size, your style, we've got it all.
At Mid-American Energy, part of putting power in your hands is helping to keep families safe. That's why Mid-American provides free educational safety programs to schools, asks you to call 811 before you dig, have annual furnace inspections, and be aware of hazards at home. Mid-American Energy safely delivers electricity and natural gas to us in good times and stormy ones. That's Mid-American Energy.
It is halftime here at Johnston Stadium. Dar Danielson and Joe Danielson, the crosstown rival Urbandale Jayhawks, are here, trying to spoil the perfect record of Johnston, and that got started out in the first quarter. Joe looked like they might have a shot at that. They tied it up, but so far 3 straight runs in the second quarter. The Dragons own the second quarter there.
Yep, and Urbandale really looking. If you look in depth of on them on offense, they've really struggled dealing with Johnston's D so far. They had come out with 3 of their first 4 drives, 3 and outs, and you score on a play, a quote unquote trick play that it's kind of you get one over on the defense there when otherwise you really haven't been able to get any drive going past 2 downs. But for Johnston on offense, they kind of just came out a little bit slow, and second quarter you see the run game really wears down Urbandale's D, and they were able to break in there for the 3 quick scores also.
Well, let's run down that scoring again. In the first quarter, it was 4:22 to go. Nord to Thompson, a 14-yard touchdown pass. The PAT was good, and Johnston had the lead. Urbandale at that point had three and outs, and then they went, as you talked about it. Llewellyn pitched the ball to Henry Drake, and Drake found Kennedy streaking down the sideline, hit Kennedy, and it was a 64-yard touchdown, and we're tied 7-7. And it took a little bit, and then finally Johnston looked like they were stuck back there at the 14, but Nord broke free, went up the left side, and went 86 yards on the touchdown run by the junior quarterback for Johnston. And it was 14-7 after the Hooshagen extra point. Then 3:14 to play. About 3 minutes later, Nord on another run, 32 yards. It was what was that, like a 3rd down and 2 play. He broke through the line, turned on the Jets, and was gone. As he got into the second level of defense, Hooshagen boots the extra point, and it's 21-7. Then with 1:50 to play here in the first half, Brock Studer took the handoff over the right side, broke through, and he got a 29-yard touchdown run. So it was then with Hooshagen kicking it 28-7, and that's where we sit at halftime. Halftime score from Ankeny, Waukee leading Ankeny 29-7, and was it Dowling was up big? Was that the score you had, Joe?
28-6. Dowling, second quarter.
Second quarter over Valley. So some big scores being put up here tonight in these rivalry games.
Yep, that's 5 touchdowns scored in this game so far, no field goals. And Dowling always scores a lot of points, and they've already got 28 in the first half.
And you see the Johnston band out there. So for Sam Anderson, what do you say to your Jayhawks? Obviously, offense, they got to get some sustained drives going, don't they?
Yep, offensively, they really, you got to connect on your passes, and they've been close to breaking one here a couple times, but the defense has really kept them in this game so far, even though they're down 3 scores, but they've played well, and offensively, you don't want to keep forcing anything to let any more interceptions go and have Johnston score more points. Because right now, the game's not totally over. You have a half to play. You're basically going to have to come out a new team here in the second half, and they'll come out with the ball, I believe. Yep.
And Brennan Kennedy, he caught that touchdown pass, and that was off the kind of the flea flicker, but Llewellyn's tried to go to him a couple times, and one a deep overthrow, another got picked off. And then also Nate Newcomb has knocked down 3 passes from Llewellyn when he tries to throw that out there. So that pocket has not been kind to Llewellyn so far here in the first half.
Yep, and with Newcomb getting up there on the line, 3 deflections, and you always have Coleman out there in the secondary for Johnston with 3 interceptions. Who got Johnston's interception earlier this half?
Nielsen. Sam Nielsen,
yeah. Nielsen there to match Coleman. For Urbandale, you want to come out here and have a strong first drive and look for a score to bring you back in this game coming out in the third quarter.
Yeah, so Coleman has 3 interceptions, Garrett Gerke 1, and now Nielsen gets into the stat sheet with the interceptions there for Johnston. For Urbandale, they need to force some turnovers, along with, we talked about sustaining those drives, but they need to get the ball and need to work it down the field because their offense really
you talk about, especially when you're passing those quick throws and incomplete passes, it stops the clock and it doesn't give the defense any time to rest.
Yep, and that can come back to bite you, as we've kind of seen so far with Urbandale getting the quick 3 and outs, and Johnston able to come on and score really fast. So their defense gets a chance to a little bit of a rest, but Urbandale has just really struggled on offense so far here, and they're going to want to come out looking to execute in the third quarter.
And you know, Coach Woodley, even though he's got a 3-touchdown lead, all coaches are this way. He's going to say we got to come out in the second half, not let down, and come out and play hard to start the second half. If they score again, they pretty well can put it out of reach. But he's going to tell them, don't let it get in your head that we're up 3 touchdowns. You got to have to play here yet.
Yep, and they already saw that once with letting in the touchdown from Urbandale on the pass from a running back, and that's just kind of a loss of focus when they've been getting a lot of penetration on the defense. On defense, they don't want to get sucked in and overcommit.
We are at halftime here, and we'll take a look at the upcoming matchups for these two teams. After this week for Urbandale, they take on Mason City, and Mason City so far, let's see, I thought I had their record on here. I don't have it. Anyway, they'll play Mason City, and then for Johnston, a big game on the road as they go to Valley. And we'll have both those games here next week on CISN.TV. Well, we'll have the Johnston at Valley, and then we'll have the Waukee Dowling game on CISN.TV next week. So, and then both these teams, they'll open up with their district play in 2 weeks. And right now for Urbandale, when you look at it in their district, Lewis Central is undefeated in the district, and Urbandale opens up with them in district play. So, if they can get a win, maybe they got to come back here. It's going to take a lot to do that, but then maybe get a win at Mason City, then go and knock off Lewis Central, who's leading so far in the non-district games. It's still with district play, you're not out of a chance to get into the playoffs.
Yep, they can still come back here. If you're going to lose this game, getting a win once you start district play kind of rejuvenates your season a little bit there. You haven't gotten off to the start that you wanted to, and you haven't seen a victory come your way so far, but those district games do just have a little bit more value than these games right now as in terms of saving their season.
And then Johnston will go on the road to Valley, and that's not an easy place to play. Valley is trailing in the rivalry with Dowling right now, and but how big would that be if they could get that win and go into district play 4-0?
Yep, pretty big for Johnston. That game is kind of, they played Southeast Polk here last week. It's kind of a game that bars the progress of what they've made so far, shows the progress that they've made. And Valley is another test here for Johnston, rated number 4. And they're going to look to assert themselves and have a good showing against Valley. If they can come out with the win there, they can, show that this team is legit. They have a chance at the state tournament.
And another thing, too, you look at those opponents, Ankeny Centennial, Southeast Polk, the rivalry game with Urbandale, and then Valley. That toughens you up as you head into your district matchup, too. They'll face Des Moines East and Des Moines Roosevelt there, and East starting out 0-2, Roosevelt starting out 2-0. So, it's going to be interesting down the road here for Johnston as they move along. Let's talk a minute about, we're talking rivalries. The game tomorrow in Ames will be there. Any thoughts on that one? Who you give the edge to, or can you tell from these first couple of games?
Well, I haven't seen so far. Maybe the Hawkeyes have the usual edge here with just, success in the previous seasons. And it could really be anything. It could be a toss-up because it always is when those two teams play, whether it's in Ames or Iowa City.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell. Iowa State had a good come-from-behind game where they took over and beat UNI, and Iowa handled Wyoming pretty handily there, but I think Iowa State's a step up from Wyoming.
Yep, I would say so too, and it's always an interesting game when those two teams take the field. It's field goals and touchdowns, and you never really know. Last year we saw 42-3 Iowa versus Iowa State.
And that was a little bit of an aberration in what the series has been.
Yep, usually it doesn't really matter which team's better. The score is always close.
Well, the marching band is marching off the field. We're going to take a break here, and we'll do that, and we'll come back. And we're halftime here, 28-7, Johnston over Urbandale. We'll be back with more after this.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury, whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
Great selection, great experience. That's what people expect today. What isn't expected is how hard we work after the sale to keep your business. Hard work, honesty, integrity, discipline, trust, character. These core values are why we grow every year and why we continue to acquire more dealerships. Experience the Schottenkirk way of doing business and come visit our new Ford dealership in Indianola.
When people visit the Lodge of Ashworth, they fall in love with our grounds. They're impressed with our dining room, but it is our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites that attract the most attention. With bay windows, full kitchens, large walk-in closets, and modern appliances, the Lodge feels like home. We have suites move-in ready, or we will help you customize. Create a home office, media room, or bedroom for visiting friends and family. Call us today for a private tour and ask about our flexible pricing plans.
Mid-American Energy, part of putting power in your hands is helping to keep families safe. That's why Mid-American provides free educational safety programs to schools, asks you to call 811 before you dig, have annual furnace inspections, and be aware of hazards at home. Mid-American Energy safely delivers electricity and natural gas to us in good times and stormy ones. That's Mid-American Energy.
At halftime here at Johnston High School, 28-7, the Dragons over Urbandale. Some first half stats for Johnston. Andrew Nord, 8 rushes for 148 yards, 7 of 11 passing for 75 yards. Brock Studer, 8 rushes for 55 yards and a touchdown, and I should say 2 touchdowns for Nord on the rush. Urbandale, Llewellyn, 8 of 19, 116 yards and 1 interception. Henry Drake rushed for 9 times for 24 yards. Drake threw 1 pass, completed the pass, 1 for 1, 64 yards and a touchdown, which is a pretty good line, but if you're running back, it's not so much. But you look at that, Joe, 116 yards, it didn't seem like he threw 19 passes, completed 8 of them, but it didn't seem like they got that much yardage off the passing game, did it?
Yeah, well, he's averaging, I looked here, he's averaging about 13 yards of completion and on the year, and Llewellyn completes a lot of passes, so that's kind of right in line with what his average has been, but 8 of 19, that kind of goes back to what we've said, is those 8 incompletions there that's spread out over 5 or 6 different drives. And that kind of kills the drive and doesn't kill any clock. Although, he's gotten a good amount of yards. And you look at Nord, he's usually, this is how he plays. They give him even touches through the air and on the ground because he can make it happen.
And he is fast. That's one thing for sure. Once he gets through that defense, he takes off. And
Man, he can move. And 148 yards, that's not bad for the first half there. And
Right, coming in with 200 in the first 2 games. He puts up 148.
And so I didn't know if you put a spy on him or what you try to do here in the second half.
Yeah, I would think so, because when they run the option, he's keeping it every time, and they've been able to contain Studer except on the one run. And Studer doesn't quite have the size to get the corner like Nord does. If you're going to pick your poison there on the option for Johnston.
Yeah, you're almost better off to make him try to pitch it, because we haven't seen any of that jet sweep or the handoff to Coleman or, well, maybe once to Thompson on the wing, off the wing there, but it's been pretty much he's reading it and keeping it himself, isn't he?
Yep, and Coleman hasn't had a whole lot of impact on this game like we've seen him in the first couple. He's played solid defense, but nothing offensively so far tonight for him.
And the thing is, too, we haven't talked much about Peyton Williams, the big tight end out there we hit last week for a touchdown, but yeah, you got that option, too, to look at on his size when he drops back there to pass.
Yep, and Williams has had a couple passes tonight, and at 6'5", he's a pretty big target.
One thing that seems like Urbandale has done well is the pressure on the pass, haven't they, when Nord drops back?
Yep, and Nord is able to drop back, and when he's in the out of the pocket there, he's really done well to make it happen on the ground or through the air.
All right, both teams out here warming up, about ready to get the second half kicked off. We'll take a final break here and come back with the second half kickoff after this on CISN.TV.
Price, great selection, great experience. That's what people expect today. What isn't expected is how hard we work after the sale to keep your business. Hard work, honesty, integrity, discipline, trust, character. These core values are why we grow every year and why we continue to acquire more dealerships. Experience the Schottenkirk way of doing business and come visit our new Ford dealership in Indianola. Great price, great.
I opened the Hearing Clinic to offer patients and their families a positive healthcare experience. If you have trouble hearing clearly at church, at the movies, watching TV, or with your friends and family in a group conversation, what are you waiting for? In less than half an hour, we can give you peace of mind and answer any questions that you may have. Call us today to schedule your appointment. The Hearing Clinic, 515-440-3323. We listen, you hear.
Here we go, ready for the second half kickoff. Hushagen boots it deep with a little bit of a wind behind him, and it'll be a touchback, and Urbandale will start out 1st and 10 at their own 20 here to start the second half. Joe, you try to establish the run maybe a little more here, or what do you got to do? Try to mix it up a little more?
Yep, Drake's had some trouble up the middle. He hasn't really been able to get anything outside. Maybe Urbandale has taken a couple deep shots. It's really an open playbook. You really just want to get a drive sustained.
Luke Llewellyn, the quarterback, gives it to Drake. Drake trying to turn the corner, does cross the 30, 40, and knocked out of bounds. If he didn't step out, he's going to get a 20-yard pickup, and he did. They're going to mark it up at the 40.
Yep, and there you go. There's the first time he's really been able to break the corner there, and Drake with the speed on the outside.
So they come out, and 1st and 10 at the 40, get a first down on the first play. Dropping back, fake draw to Drake again, and he gets about 3 this time. So steady diet to Drake here to start the second half. 2nd and 7 at the 43. Officer with the tackle for Johnston. This time rolling, Llewellyn throws across the middle. Diving catch is made is Miller. Llewellyn to Miller. Well, now Urbandale coming out and got something going here, Joe.
Yep, and that's what they wanted to do here. And then now you got to find the end zone if you're Urbandale.
So that was an 18-yard pass.
And handoff, right side, Drake plows ahead. There's a flag down, though, in the backfield, and Llewellyn was not happy. He saw that flag come in, knowing that they had almost a first down, but there's going to be a holding call. So 10-yard holding penalty.
Yep, and that's kind of been the story all game here. As Urbandale, you make a big play, and it just gets brought back by a penalty. Earlier, they had the false start on the 4th down, and now the holding on that nice first down run.
There were 5 penalties on Johnston in the first half and 3 on Urbandale. And this one will move it back, make it 1st and 20 at the 49. Llewellyn drops back, wings it out, has a man up across the 40, dives ahead. Will Pattison with the catch. Gets back most of the penalty yardage. And bring up 2nd 10 at the 39. So getting a couple passes right away here. Drop back again, wings it outside, has a man. He cuts it in, and that'll be a first down. The quick tempo here of Urbandale, that's Will Pattison again. 2 straight 10-yard completions to Pattison.
Yeah, but these sequences were not what they were able to get in the first half there, and then a string of completions, and Llewellyn is operating here from the pocket.
That's 3 straight completions. Llewellyn now hands off to the back, and he plows straight through the middle, and he's going to get close to 9 yards. We'll see. Might get the 10 there. They're marking it close to the first down. Can be just short. So +9, 2nd and 1. There. Fakes it. Oh, knocked away. Picked off. Picked off.
Yep, and there we saw it again. Picked at the line of scrimmage.
And trying to see who was that. Was that 82 or 62?
Number 62, Aaron Potter. On the interception, off the deflection by Trey.
Aaron Potter.
Aaron Potter.
The
So
big lineman, Aaron Potter, with the nice hands to bring in the pass deflection to really stymie a good Urbandale drive there, which had him right down at the 25.
So the second interception.
First and 10 Dragons.
So they turned it over. Yeah, they had a long drive going there, and now they turned it over on the interception. It was knocked up at the line of scrimmage. Throw it outside quickly, and Steigers turns up and gets the first down. And so Nord comes right back with the pass. Hits him for 12. 1st and 10 at the 37. Nord sends Thompson in motion across the formation. Now they all look back to the sideline. And again, play clock, and it goes, play clock runs out, but they call a timeout. And little miscommunication on the signals there. Timeout Johnston, 8:56 to play in the 3rd quarter. They lead 28-7 on CISN.TV.
They think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza. The other guy.
Out of the timeout, play clock ran down on Johnston. 1st and 10 on the 37 after they got the interception, got a first down, and now Nord brings them out again. And Hands off to Studer. Right side, he's going around, spins, and still plows ahead and drags the pile up for another first down.
Yep, kept the legs moving at the end of that run to take a 9-yard run and do a first down.
And he gets it up to the 48. And Dahlmuller on the stop. That line, Garrett Molander, Ethan Arnold, Micah Crott, Jake Thompson, and Ben Standish up there in front of Nord. Sends Thompson across the formation, gives it to Thompson, and he's met in the backfield and dragged down. And Nord hasn't handed that off. He's kept it most of the time. And that time, Urbandale read it, and he gave the handoff, and he stopped him for a loss.
Yep, that jet sweep, the wide receiver in motion to take the handoff hasn't really been utilized as much as we saw in the first couple of games for these teams. And both of the teams are getting real good penetration in the corners, so they've had to run up the middle most of the game.
Well, this time, though, sent two receivers down to the bottom of the screen. They send Studer in motion. Quick pressure on Nord. He runs out of it and runs to the sideline. Now gets a block and cuts it up. And he'll pick up a few as he runs to the sideline and gets run out of bounds. So I'll give him 2 on that. 3rd and 14. The 44. So here again, a big play for Urbandale. Still, you get a stop here. They showed they could move the ball coming out. They hadn't gotten the turnover there. They had put a little bit of a drive together, so we'll see what they can do here. Studer steps up next to Nord. They send Thompson in motion. Nord follows him to the right side, trying to get the corner, and this time they're right there, and they smother him under. And that's one of the few times that Nord's lost yardage.
Yep, and that's positive. It's a positive sign for Urbandale. Your defense comes out, has a good stand here. And on offense, you're able to drive down, and just a good play from Johnston to stop the drive. But Urbandale here has got a little bit of momentum.
Lost 4, 4th and 18 at the 40 for Johnston. And they'll have to punt it here. And they send Chris Miller back deep. Steigers to punt. Good to see him back after missing that second game with an injury, and he gets the punt away. Miller stays away from it, gets a good bounce for him anyways. It bounces, comes back, and then lands about where it started in the first place at the 26. So about a 33-yard kick by Steigers. And Urbandale will take over 1st and 10 at the 26. And still, Joe, I mean, 6:39 to go here in the third quarter. You get a drive together, you score, you put a little pressure on Johnston. He showed that they could move it on defense a little bit. And Drake takes it, trying to turn the corner, and drops back. And I think that's an issue there where when he gets up there and he sees that he's stopped, you can't hop back and give up 2 more yards. You got to kind of,
Yep, either fall forward with it or just go down.
And because he ends up, he was stopped for no gain, and then he hopped around and he lost a couple more there. He lost 3. 2nd and 13 at the 23 for Urbandale. They trail here by 3 touchdowns. And Llewellyn keeps it himself, pitches it late, and good reaction there on the outside by the defense as they played that perfectly. Gerke on the stop.
Gerke really made it so there was nothing there. Johnston was ready if Llewellyn was going to keep it or pitch it, and executed great at that time on defense.
Yeah, they spread that out. He took the pitch man like he was supposed to, and they got 2 yards. It could have been more. 3rd and 11 at the 25. Llewellyn calls for his receiver, Kennedy, to come back to the right side. I know there was a jump there. Throws it deep. He's got a man wide open, but that's going to come back. He's going to go in for the touchdown, but there's a flag down. I think somebody jumped early on the line. Yep, illegal motion, so that'll come back there. Pattison was deep, and I think the Johnson defense saw the flag and just stopped.
Yep.
And Pattison got behind him, so that's going to be another penalty there against Urbandale. And we'll come back. I think the receiver came to this side and then kind of jumped a little early. So that's the second penalty of the half here on Urbandale. It's a penalty back to the 21. 3rd and 16 at the 20 for Urbandale. So 3rd and long. Started out the half with a good drive that ended with a turnover. Ball batted up, and now here's the draw play to Drake. Drake has a little room, but quickly closed in on there. And
brought down by 91, Rick Rezick.
Rezick brings him down.
Brings up 4th down.
We'll bring in the punting unit here again for Urbandale. They tried a fake earlier. A little.
That was a big play. They tried to fake there on their own 35 and missed the pass.
And that really changed the direction of the game for.
And then that's when Studer ended up scoring on that run and made it a 3-score game. You know, if it worked, we got the first down, and maybe they got a chance to make it a 1-score game before the half. Punt taken, dropped, and who's on it? Let's see. No, they're going to say Johnston is back on it there.
It was a quick call from the official right away, but Johnston player did.
Thompson was there.
Yep, he
and
muffed the punt originally and got back on top of it.
Looks like Seekauer tried to fall on it, but he got on it, so Johnston will take over 1st and 10 at their own 39 with 4:44 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Here comes Andrew Nord. And he fakes it, takes it himself over the right side, Nord. And ball comes out. And they're going to say it's staying with Johnston, I believe.
Yep. Must have just dropped the ball there at the end.
Yeah.
Could have been down.
2nd and 7 then. They picked up 3 on that. For Nord. Nielsen, twins to each side. In motion, Sullivan. And gets the ball, cuts it up, and he's going to be close to the first down. I think he's got it. Gavin Sullivan.
Gavin Sullivan, good for the first down. Up the midfield, brought down by number 42.
Picks up 8.
Sam Estes.
Sam Estes on the tackle. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line. He took over with 6:39 to play and have run 3 minutes off the clock. And gone about 17 yards. And flag down, delay of game. So first penalty on Johnston here in the second half for the delay of game.
So kind of a trend similar to the first quarter here with Johnston playing a little bit slower. The second quarter was, real fast. They could almost do nothing wrong on offense, and it's slowed down here again in the third.
And I think with the lead, the Johnston, just slow it down, grind the clock out. Quick pass out to the tight end Williams. He catches it.
Yep, and I think he got one hand on it and was able to haul it in. And
Picks
nice
up.
play, yeah, to keep it off the ground.
Picks up 5.
And that's the tight end, Peyton Williams, there on the outside. It's the third ball he's caught there in the quick out.
He made that big play last week to pull it away from the defender in the end zone for the touchdown.
Yep, we kind of had another one of those earlier with the jump ball in the second quarter.
Yeah. That ended up, incomplete, didn't it? Fake, and then Nord runs it up the middle, and he gets stacked up. Picked up 1. Garwood on the tackle. 3rd and 9. At the 49 for Johnston. Rolling up on 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. They have a 3-score lead. Nobody scored here in this third quarter. Urbandale came out with a nice opening quarter drive as Nord rolls. Throws it up, hits Steigers. And he's going to be just short of the first down. Being up about 4th and 2.
Yeah, and if I'm Johnston here, I think I'm just going to go for this one. There's not much of a reason to punt it and pin him down.
Although they may, well, it looks like they're going to
bring the punt team out.
Go ahead and punt it. Pin him deep and make him go the length of the field. If they do that, that's going to take a lot of clock off. But, yeah, it was kind of, if it was a 1-score game, I would say they might go for it. So here's the boot. It bounces about the 10 and about the 12 and rolls to the 11. The Steiger, a good punt there. And Urbandale will get it back with 57 seconds to play in the third. They need 3 scores to tie this up. But they got to go 89 yards to do it. And Luke Llewellyn brings them out. Drops back. Looks, throws it out deep. Oh, and just over the outstretched arms of the receiver there. And that was Miller. And just over the hands of Miller. 2nd and 10. Took 7 seconds for that play. And hand off to Drake. He spins around, cuts it through the middle, and then gets hit.
Henry Drake for the Jayhawks.
Drake, he's a tough runner. The thing is, he's 5'8", 165, Joe. When that first guy hits him, he tries to spin away, but usually that first guy hits him, and he doesn't get much forward momentum after that.
Yeah, but it's hard for him to break tackles, which we've seen so far. And once he gets hit, he could get hit backwards a little bit also instead of falling forward.
I mean, he's quick. He used avoidance instead of trying to roll over somebody like Studer does. Quick pass out to the left, and that's going to be a first down for Urbandale. Heinen. Brooke Heinen with the catch. First and 10 at the 34. For Urbandale. Clock stopped on the first down. Let's see if they get the play off. They will. It'll be last play of the third quarter. Throws it to Drake, and he drops it. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. And we'll take a break. We'll come back with the final period. The Dragons leading the Jayhawks 28-7 here. Back with the final period after this on CISN.TV.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury, whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
They think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza. The other guys.
Dar Danielson here on CISN.TV. Third quarter, we're getting ready to go to the fourth here, where it'll be Urbandale's ball. 2nd and 10 at the 34. They're trailing 28-7. Luke Llewellyn, the quarterback. Urbandale there in the white. Llewellyn rolling, looking downfield, and it's off the hands of Will Pattison.
Llewellyn on the pass, intended for number 81, Will Pattison, incomplete.
Would have had maybe not quite first down yardage, but a good chunk of it.
25, Jared Gerke on the coverage.
Gerke on the coverage.
3rd down and 10.
And I'll bring up a 3rd and 10 at the 34. They stack double stacks for Urbandale. Llewellyn rolling, not much pressure. Throws it out there, has a man wide open, and he can't get it. Lucas Strain had the first down, and I think they were both surprised he was so wide open there. And that's kind of the way the Jayhawks night has gone here in the second half. Well, the second quarter on, Johnston kind of turned it on, 3 straight runs for touchdowns to open up a 7-7 game. And Coleman and Thompson will drop back, take the punt after the missed pass. And high snap. He gets it, gets the punt off. And wow, it's going to end up getting a good bounce for Urbandale. And boy, talk about turning nothing into something, Joe.
Yeah, a nice athletic play. You know, the snap's over your head. And usually you got a guy screaming in to tackle you, but he was really able to get the punt off there. You know.
Luke Dayton does that kind of rugby run anyway, and he got it, so he's used to catching the ball and running before he punts it. So Johnston will take over 1st and 10 at the 28.
And Nord will come out here to take the snap. The man in motion, and he hands it off and keeps it inside. And the gains of about 6 yards there with the keeper. And again there, he doesn't hand it off to the man in motion.
And
yep, and we have a new quarterback. Nord has gone in, and Jacob Meyer will come in.
Jake Meyer, number 12, is in.
But right now we have an injury down on the field. We'll try to
figure that out. Let's take a quick timeout while we got that injury. We'll do that and come back after this.
I opened the Hearing Clinic to offer patients and their families a positive healthcare experience. If you have trouble hearing clearly at church, at the movies, watching TV, or with your friends and family in a group conversation, what are you waiting for? In less than half an hour, we can give you peace of mind and answer any questions that you may have. Call us today to schedule your appointment. The Hearing Clinic, 515-440-3323. We listen, you hear.
And then after the injury there, number 61, Micah Kraut, the center there for Johnston. He jogs off, and it's good to see him okay. And then we'll have Jake Meyer come out here with 3 wide receivers to his right. takes the snap and scrambles out, then looks downfield and makes a pass to find nobody open right through the Urbandale defense. So Meyer there, not afraid to throw, coming in the game to relieve Andrew Nord.
And he threw it, too. I think he was looking for Quincy Hale there.
Yep, and you got to think Nord has had quite a day.
Yep, so Nord is done for the night, and a chance to, you never know, get that back up a little time, Joe.
Yep, and Nord's had quite the workload so far. You don't want to risk an injury. Meyer takes the snap, keeps it, runs up the field, has an opening, downfield, and breaks a tackle to the 45. Nice run from Jake Meyer up the middle to break a couple tackles.
And 21 yards.
Yep, so, and Jake Meyer here is listed as a backup running back, so you know he's got, he can move on the ground as well as Nord.
And it looks like Hushagen is the back in there, 28 for him, the running back who replaced Studer.
Yep, so a little bit of roster changing out, scramble here as Meyer takes the snap, hands inside to
It's Hushagen.
Yep, Hushagen the kicker. And he is stopped right about the line of scrimmage for a gain of, I don't think any gain on that play. And for Urbandale, Grant Garwood comes in to make the stop. And Urbandale still playing strong here against Johnston, what seems to be a team of their backups in now for the fourth quarter.
Some of them here and there. Looks like they still got Thompson in at receiver and Steigers in at the receiver spots.
Yep, Thompson out wide, and here is Meyer. Takes the snap, keeps it again up the middle for a couple yard gain there, and he too is looking to run a little bit more of that option offense, and he's also kept it so far similar to Nord.
Well, and I think probably Coach Woodley is saying, let's just keep it on the ground, run this clock out, you know. No sense passing when you got a 3-touchdown lead against Urbandale. Show a little respect for them and kind of work this out. And I don't know, it would be surprising if they pass here, although 3rd and 8, maybe they will to try to get the first down.
Yep, 3rd and 8, and Meyer comes out. 2 wide receivers to his right, 1 out to his left. In motion, he keeps it again, is in trouble in the backfield, and he runs around, and he dances to get forward for a couple yards there after being trapped in the backfield. He doesn't get the first down, and that'll bring up about 4th and 3 or 4.
No, 4th and 6, I think. He got 2. Yeah, it was 4th and 8, he got 2, so 4th and 6.
Yep, and then 4th and 6, and I think
40.
looks like they have punting personnel out there, yep, as we have number 15 for Johnston to punt.
You got Steigers, the punter. And Urbandale sends back Brooke Heinen.
A long punt towards the corner and sails into the end zone. It had a chance to go to that coffin corner, but kind of hooked in once it hit the ground. And
I think Heinen had a quick thought about maybe trying to get that, and then he saw
he saw he was
coming in and thought, man, if I get this, I could get plastered, so he just let it go.
Yep, and he's tiptoeing on the goal line there.
So back to Urbandale.
Yep, here comes Urbandale out again, led by Llewellyn.
It looks like Henry Drake will stay in there.
Llewellyn in the gun. Drake motions out wide to the left, and Llewellyn lets it go, throws it up, and Drake makes the catch over 2 men, breaks a tackle, and is now heading to the end zone at the 20 and the 10 in a foot race here, and he's going to score. So Henry Drake makes the catch and puts a couple moves on, and
80 yards.
Yep, and you see those wheels that he's been trying to get going all day, and he finally breaks one and scores here. Nice play by the little guy.
Yeah, for Drake, he got a big vertical on that, didn't he?
Yep, it was a jump ball, and you see Drake just went up and got it for Urbandale. So another big play leads to an 80-yard score here with 8 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. It's Johnston 28, Urbandale 13.
Wow. He took the leap and just caught that, and then the defender I don't think knew where he was, and he did that spin. He breaks all the way down and goes for the touchdown.
Yep, and Drake, when you got a foot race, that's what he wants. He doesn't want to take the contact. He wants to outrun it to the end zone. So Urbandale here setting up for the extra point.
So Drake has now passed for a touchdown, 64 yards, and caught one for 80 yards.
Yep, and as a running back, you don't get a run. A little unorthodox game.
So they got delay a game here on Urbandale, so it'll make it out a little bit longer in the extra point.
Yep,
well, they were excited they scored, So Keeney will kick from the that'll be a 25-yard extra point now. Which isn't that what it is in the NFL? Well, and hits the upright but goes through. Wow.
Well, happy he got the point there, and a little bit of the luck of the bounce on that one.
Let's take a break. We'll come back with a kickoff after this.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
At Mid-American Energy, part of putting power in your hands is helping to keep families safe. That's why Mid-American provides free educational safety programs to schools, asks you to call 811 before you dig, have annual furnace inspections, and be aware of hazards at home. Mid-American Energy safely delivers electricity and natural gas to us in good times and stormy ones. That's Mid-American Energy.
And we're back here with Urbandale set up to kick off, and it's an onside kick.
But I don't know if they were ready yet. They blew the whistle. Or no, Johnston called a timeout. They saw what was happening there. Well, I was just about to say, Joe, do you try the onside or not? And Johnston was ready. They called the timeout before they could get it off.
Yeah, interesting kind of sequence there is how he could figure. The Johnston head coach figured out there. Maybe he kind of thought Urbandale might come out to look at the onside, but they called the timeout there. They got the timeout pretty fast because Urbandale was ready to kick it, and they got the kickoff.
But Coach Woodley must have been over there calling for it because the official saw it, and I don't know if that helps Urbandale. That ball was going. I think it was going to go out of bounds before they could recover it anyway. So it probably helped Urbandale more than anything,
Oh yeah, we'll see here if they come out in onside formation again, or they look to catch him offsides. Johnston's going to be in a defensive position here. They don't have much to lose on the long kick with one back.
But look at they have a big gap there from the 40 back to the 20-yard line. You can't see it on the camera, but here it comes.
Urbandale kicks left
and the pile up. Did they get on it? Who's on it? Let's see. And I think Johnston. Yep, Johnston will take it.
Jackson Steigers there was, and we'll have a flag after the play here. Maybe some extracurricular from both teams. We'll see.
Urbandale.
So Urbandale will get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Maybe words said after the play there
and that
in the
really,
pile-up.
That really hurts them because you had them. At least you had them in their own territory, and now it's going to come back across into your territory.
Yep, and this is a two-score game at this point, and giving Johnston free yards. We'll see if if Andrew Nord comes back in here with only a two-score game. Meyer did a nice job. Yep, and we're going to see Nord again here come back out. I don't think he was injured at all. They just got Meyer in with the game seemingly out of reach.
Yeah,
but Nord will come back with a little bit more command on the offense. He'll take the snap. Inside handoff. Pitched outside to the running back trying to get. And
That's Gavin Sullivan.
Yep, Gavin Sullivan is swallowed up on the outside, and we have another flag here late.
And we had Ethan Arnold. Ethan Arnold was back there with Riley Longlet going at it, and now they get the 15 yards. So
it's getting a little chippy here
at
the
the
end.
officials are going to make sure it doesn't. That's why they're throwing those
Yep,
flags.
and I think that we haven't seen any fighting so far, so it's probably just verbal, which is understandable here at the end. It's been a long game.
And the officials want to keep it that way, just verbal, so they're throwing the flags.
Yep, and they've done a good job today so far, calling penalties, nothing big.
So it goes back into Johnston territory.
Yep, and Nord will set up at the 50 with Sullivan out right, and two receivers to his left. Studer steps up. Sullivan comes in motion to fake the handoff, and Nord will take it up the middle. One man and gains about a couple yards out to the left side on that run from Nord.
So brings up, 3rd and 22 now at the 50.
Yep, 3rd and 22 with about 7 minutes to play here. I think they'll probably just look to keep it on the ground.
Now, they spotted that on the other side of the 50 where it looked like he was down at the 50, didn't it? So 3rd and 21. Well, that's where the penalty then could hurt Johnston, because now Urbandale's got a chance to stop him, get it back with about 7 minutes to play.
Yep, Nord back in the gun. Studer to his left. In motion, Sullivan fakes the handoff to Studer and is caught in the backfield. Nord, Urbandale's defense just got in the backfield, and they were able to take him down before he could get the handoff. And credit to Nord and Johnston, he's been able to really hold the ball and make good decisions.
Al Nord, that's 4th and 21. So you kick it here. I think they're going to bring in Steigers, to punt it. And here's where, I'm going to send Miller back. Urbandale got to look. Maybe they can break one here. You score here, Joe. Man, we got a whole new ball game with about 6 minutes to play.
Yep, 2 scores is nothing big. So here comes Urbandale waiting for the punt. And it's a high booming kick that'll sail out of bounds at around the 16-yard line, up closer to the 20.
Wow, it's come up to 20. Well, so same as a touchback, but Urbandale really not in bad field position here with 6:04 to play.
Nope, they've been able to sustain a couple good drives here, and that nice pass to Drake, who made an excellent play to run it into the end zone last drive. If Urbandale can get a couple solid plays together here, it's only a 7-point ball game.
I know they didn't get much pressure. They put some substitutes in. Johnson weren't getting much pressure on Llewellyn. Let's see if that changes as they put some of the starters back in there.
Yep, takes the snap, drops back, and is looking. Goes over the middle, has a man, catches it at the 50, breaks a tackle. Here he goes, and a shoestring save from Johnston there at the 40-yard line. And who do we have making that tackle there?
It's 22 on the catch.
Number 20.
Heinen.
Yep, Heinen on the catch, makes a great catch. It runs free, so just what Urbandale needs here, a big play up the middle. And they're driving.
That's a 45-yard. Wait, let's see, 20, 55. Yeah, 45-yard pass.
Yep, Llewellyn sets up. Drake out to the left, catches the ball, and he's stopped right around the line of scrimmage there.
Well, Urbandale's made this a ball game all of a sudden here.
Yep, and Johnston had, some of the backups in and a little bit early there, you got to think. And I think Urbandale, that they saw that and they kind of took that to heart. Here comes Llewellyn, and the snap rolls out to his right, and he's looking, and pressure. Now Llewellyn drops in and scrambles out of bounds for a 2-yard gain.
Now, that was smart. If you throw that up for grabs and it gets picked off, then you're hurt. Keep the ball alive, and at least, you got a 3rd down and long here, but at least you have the ball still and a chance to hit somebody and, no gain, but you still have the ball. And, I'm assuming we're in 4-down territory, too, here with 5:04 to play.
Yep, and then Llewellyn here sets up. 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. 2-step drop, scrambles, and then throws out. Quick bullet pass. It looks like.
Was it Coleman? Did he pick that off?
Yep,
Coleman.
Coleman gets the interception on a low-thrown bullet from Llewellyn. Who else but Coleman finds himself another interception. I believe that's his 4th on the season, and that's a timely play by Johnston's defensive star. Well, their two-way star, really.
Yeah, big players make big plays. That's interception number 4, and it looked like Llewellyn was trying to throw that low to where the defender couldn't get to it, but that's the 3rd interception tonight for Llewellyn.
Yep, and Anthony Coleman comes up big for the Dragons, who now come out here. Andrew Nord will come out with 5 minutes to play, and they're going to look to drain more time off the clock after really just stymieing a nice Urbandale offensive attack here late. Nord with Studer to his right. Hands the ball to Studer, and he is stopped right at the line of scrimmage there.
And you don't want to go ifs and buts, but imagine Heinen just about broke free of that last tackler there before he got stopped at the 35, Joe. He gets into the end zone, and we got a 7-point ball game here. But credit Coleman, the guy comes up and makes the play again.
Yep, and that would have been big had it been 28-21. There would have been a lot more pressure on Johnston to get a couple first downs here. Now Nord can come out, and with a full playbook, takes the snap, hands to Studer up the middle for a couple yards, fights back, and then is pushed by a pile of Urbandale defenders.
But the big thing here is that keeps the clock running, and now the clock is running down to 4 minutes, and that's the, when Urbandale had it, there was 7 minutes to go, and, looking like they might score. Then there was still plenty of time to get it back, but now the clock is really a problem for Urbandale.
Yep, it's a game of time here for Urbandale, as Johnston is going to run the play clock down within 10 every time here before the snap. Nord in the pistol formation here. Studer to his right, takes the snap, fakes the motion, drops back to his right, and the short pass back to the running back.
Tried to slip Studer back across there for a little maybe screen to mix it up. And that's a safe play, too, because it's a short pass, and it doesn't stop the clock because he caught it. So, but Urbandale called the timeout.
Yep, they'll take the timeout here to get the clock stopped.
So let's take a quick break with 3:32 to play. Still a 2-score ball game back after this.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury, whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Yep, so we're back here as both teams break the huddle and look to line up on 4th and 6 for the Johnston Dragons, coming out in punt formation with 3 minutes and 32 seconds left in the game.
And Miller's back deep, I believe, to receive for Urbandale.
A low driving punt that, takes a pretty good bounce and inside the 20. Sometimes you don't need to get all the hang time on it.
That was a good... You talk about that wasn't a coffin corner, but it was a good directional punt, and it bounced and it rolled a long ways, and he kept it away from the returner, and it got what they needed to do. Waukee is now up over Ankeny and got the continuous clock going at 46-7 in that ball game. 29-21, Iowa City was over Ames in that matchup there. Southeast Polk over East 33-7. Centennial and Roosevelt tied 3-3. Roosevelt got another good team this year.
And the Llewellyn quick pass dropped out to
33 was Adam Banwell.
Yep, and Llewellyn here again with dropping back, quick out to his right, dangerous pass in between two defenders, and he hit his man right in the hands, and you got to bring that in.
But I bet Coleman's eyes were big as saucers because he was thinking pick six the other way out there. He was out in that double coverage in the flat.
And Llewellyn's got a big arm. He can throw it into double coverage, but really tonight he hasn't had a whole lot of luck. So 2 quick incompletions that only run about 40 seconds off the clock for Urbandale, and Llewellyn will take it again here. Scrambles out to his right, looking deep, and then has to throw it away as he is pressured into the corner of the end zone there.
And I would think they'd probably go on 4th down, the last gasp here, because they got to. 2:59 to play.
Yep, backed up in their own end zone.
And Llewellyn was getting more time to throw in that last series, and then now on that play they got more pressure back on him. So I think that they changed it up a little bit, or are they going to go ahead and punt it here? I suppose they probably will. Yeah, I think they're going to go. I thought they might try one more time, but, I mean, you give it up here, I'm pretty sure that Johnston would just hand it off and run the clock out.
Yep.
But now they're going to punt it. And then they get a delay again, or no, timeout. They've had a lot of trouble when going to that transition and to the punt team. They've had to call like 3 timeouts on that here. Let's take another break. We'll come back with the final 2:59 in this ball game after this on CISN.TV.
Do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa. Why do I look for it?
And we're back here for the last 3 minutes of this Urbandale versus Johnston Friday night rivalry matchup. Johnston leading 28-14. Back to receive what should be the last punt here from Urbandale if Johnston can run the clock out. We did see a fake punt earlier, but we don't know if they're going to try that again here.
No,
Coleman
back
left
to receive, and we'll see if they punt it to him, or they've been punting it away from him too. Well, not this time.
A nice high arcing punt, and Coleman will take it and free catch it right about the 35.
No, he made that decision quick, didn't he? I mean,
yep, and I think Coach might have told him that you just free catch it. We don't need you to get injured on a punt return with 2 minutes left. So
yeah, I think we're going to see a steady diet of handoff up the middle here and run this clock out.
Yep, and I think when Johnston came out with some of their backup players in the early of the fourth quarter, Urbandale kind of took that to heart and said, "Hey, we're not out yet. We're not out of this yet." Yeah. And they were able to come down and score and got another good drive together. So Nord will come back in here to finish things out for Johnston. And he'll take the snap and just run left behind his lineman for a nice gain of about 8 or 9.
And you got to think those players who came in are going to hear a little bit about it at practice, Joe, on how they came in and had a chance to show their stuff. And what did they do? They let Urbandale kind of come back and, make this game a little tense there.
Yep, and one big play, that's kind of 2 big plays for Urbandale tonight have led to the scoring drives. But, yeah, you kind of take that to heart when you see guys that, you're a starter and guys that don't play as much as you are coming in. Here comes Nord again, and he'll just hand it off up the middle, which will give them the first down for forward progress.
You see there the score, 28-14.
And it'll be Hushagen rushing up the middle.
Thought for a minute we were going to end up in one of those wild fourth quarter comebacks that you see in basketball or football here in Johnston, Urbandale. And credit the Jayhawks. They made a little run at it late.
Yep, they had a nice late push, a couple good drives, and Coleman ended up making the big play to really silence their efforts here. So Nord again, another keeper up the middle. And Nord just follows his blockers. He's done a great job doing that all night. So Urbandale here will use their
we'll keep it here, but
timeout.
I think, Joe, one of the big plays when Urbandale came out to start the second half and drove down, and then that ball was tipped and intercepted there at the line of scrimmage. Again, they score and they get the momentum going, and that kind of shut them off, and then it took them a while till you said in the fourth quarter, and you call it right there, that Johnston brought in some reserves, and Urbandale kind of said, well, we're still, in this, and made the big plays, and just about, had a chance there to score. They got that 45-yard pass, which was one good touchdown-saving tackle away, and we had a one-score ball game here. But so a few things to build on here for the Jayhawks is if this holds up, they're going to go down to defeat, but some good things to look forward to coming up in the next game.
Yep, and then so both teams out of the huddle here with 1:40 left. Johnston out there with Nord, who I'm guessing will just run the ball straight forward or hand it off to Hushagen there, and Nord will take it out to the right. Look to get to the outside and stay in bounds there when he's brought down by an Urbandale defender.
Smart play. One thing I noticed, too, remember last week, Starcevich on some of those things would come up under center. We haven't seen Nord. He takes it out of the pistol or shotgun all the time. I don't think I've seen him take a play under center here.
Yeah, I don't think Llewellyn has been under center either. Llewellyn's in even a deeper shotgun most of the time.
Yeah. And it's late in the game. Sometimes you think, well, we'll come under center and get the good snap and then just, run it ahead. But you're used to working out of that, and they're going to run it down here under a minute now.
Yep, and Nord will let the play clock go under 5 before he takes the snap. And he makes a great move in the backfield to get past the defender, gets to the outside to the left, and he breaks free and then just kind of slides down to not take a hit. Smart play with the defenders closing in on him. Using that speed again to get to the corner. And earlier on in the game, you'd think he might want to put that one in for a touchdown.
40.
Yep, so the
35-yard run there down to the, 19?
Yep, and they could come out in victory formation here now, maybe run one more play off the clock, but you got to think they're going to knee down.
I haven't kept track, but he's got to be close to 300 yards rushing, doesn't Nord?
He's had a big day.
Something. He had 148 in the first half.
Yep, and Nord will kneel the ball down, and that will run the clock off. The final 10 seconds to take us home here with Johnston, a final score, taking the victory to go 3-0, 28-14 over crosstown rival Urbandale.
And you see the players heading out to midfield to shake hands. We'll take a break. We'll come back and run down the scoring here and wrap up this ball game coming up after this on CISN.TV.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
Many times at the Lodge of Ashworth, new members come to us from their big, beautiful homes. They find our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites to be an ideal fit. We have a limited number of these larger and penthouse-style suites, perfect for the retiring executive's style living. We have suites ready for immediate move-in, or we can help you customize. The Lodge of Ashworth is all-inclusive, no surprise additional fees or upcharges. Call us today for a private tour and ask us about our flexible pricing plans.
A strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
They think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
Selection, great experience. That's what people expect today. What isn't expected is how hard we work after the sale to keep your business. Hard work, honesty, integrity, discipline, trust, character. These core values are why we grow every year and why we continue to acquire more dealerships. Experience the Schottenkirk way of doing business and come visit our new Ford dealership in Indianola. Great price.
It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Welcome back to Johnston. Dar Danielson here along with Joe Danielson, and this rivalry, well, Johnston took control pretty much in the second quarter, Joe, and that's kind of where it turned the tide for them.
Yep, the big second quarter, they won 21-0 there, outscored Urbandale, and they didn't really look back after that with two touchdowns on the ground from Nord, and Urbandale didn't have an answer after that point.
Let's take a look at the scoring here. 4:22 to play. It was Nord to Thompson, a 14-yard touchdown pass to get Johnston on the board. Hushagen had the kick, and it was 7-0. Then we came back on a little bit of a flea flicker by Urbandale. They pitched it to Henry Drake, and he pitched it to Kennedy down the sideline for 64 yards. And Heinen got the kick, and it was 7-7, and looked like we're in for a good tight ball game there. Then we get into the second quarter, and it looked like Urbandale had him pinned down there deep at the 14-yard line, but Andrew Nord broke free 86 yards. He took it in for the touchdown. Hushagen had the point after it. It was 14-7. Then it was Nord again on a 32-yard run with 3:14 to play in the first half. And the extra point was good, and it was 21-7. Urbandale then tried that fake punt at their own 35. Had a man open out there, couldn't quite get to the pass, and then they ran a play, got 3 yards, and then Studer took it in from 29 yards out. As you talked about, 21 straight points. That made it 28-7. Urbandale came back, though, gave them a little scare in the fourth. It was Llewellyn to Drake who made a beautiful leap on that ball. Caught it, spun around, and went 80 yards for the touchdown, 28-14, and that's the way it ended. Urbandale did have another pass down to the 35, but then Coleman steps up big, picks it off, and ended that drive, and that pretty much ended the Urbandale threat.
Yep, and Urbandale played a nice they hung in this game, and you got down, you get 21 points scored on you. They were able to respond well, and they were never really out of it. Johnston did put in some reserve players there towards the end, but Urbandale was able to respond and really make this a game. 28-14 it's not a blowout by any means when you're still in this game till the end.
Well, for the Jayhawks, they return home and they'll take on Mason City, and the Mason City squad that has been struggling through the early part of this season. So maybe a good thing for them to come home and face them. For Johnston, you're 3-0. You go to Valley next week in a game we'll have here on CISN.TV, and that's going to be a good matchup.
Yep, and that's a big game for them so far. They'll be undefeated heading into that one and at least ranked 4th in the state now. I don't think they'll really move after this victory unless there was any upsets higher up in the top 3.
I didn't get the final yet, but sounds like Valley was going to lose to Dowling tonight, so you're going to get them on the little mad maybe trying to bounce back from their first loss.
Yep, and I think that's a big game for Johnston. We'll see how if Johnston comes out and performs well in that game, if they really, if they hand it to Valley, and that'll pretty much prove that Johnston is a legitimate contender this year.
All right, well, thanks to Peter Tarpey running the camera. Steve Dickinson here on our controls to my left, and a good ball game here tonight. Urbandale tries to make a comeback, but Johnston goes to 3-0 with a 28-14 victory here tonight at home against Urbandale in the big rivalry. That's going to wrap it up here on CISN.TV.